What's up, guys? I just wanted to make a short video on lock picking and Dying Light. I know when I first tried the lock picking, I didn't have really any clue on exactly what was supposed to be done because a lot of games have different mechanisms for hacking and lock picking and whatnot. So first things first is you need lock picks. If you haven't picked them up, they are on the ground in bags and stuff like that. You can always make them. So you just go to your blueprints and you just click on it and you'll craft them. And it crafts more than one at a time. So I'm going to craft, I don't know, I'll craft 15 of them there. And then that should be plenty. And I'm in an area that is not a safe area or anything, so I may be attacked during this, which is why lock picking is something that you kind of need to get good at, because oftentimes you'll be lock picking and then all of a sudden a zombie is trying to kill you, and that just makes it even more nerve-wracking. But anyways, let's get to it. Well, first, before I leave the screen, which screen like pauses the zombies and everything, is you have easy, medium, hard, and very hard. You may even have a very easy, but there are obviously varying levels of lock picking, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as I get to it. Let's see, we have one right here. Okay, here's a medium lockpick. So you go down to lockpick, and it's just going to present you with this screen. You're only going to be able to control this top one. Now, I'm using PC. I don't know if this is on console. I assume it is. But basically, you're able just to move this thing 180 degrees, this paper clip. And then you push the key from the keyboard, it's A, to try to turn it. You get 3 attempts before the paper clip breaks and you have to use a new one. And basically you have to have it in the precise angle or position in order for the lock to turn. What I like to do, my own technique, is to try basically 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock to see if it moves at all. If none of those 3 will move or show any signs of movement, I will go to what's between those 2. So say 9 o'clock, about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I don't know, 1-ish, and then 3 o'clock. Somewhere among those, you're likely to get some movement, and from that point is where you will adjust. And we'll see. Hopefully I won't get the lockpick from the first thing. So I'm just going to go try right here at 9 o'clock. And you see it doesn't move at all, so this is not the right position. So I'm going to move it up to 12. That showed a little bit. So that either means it needs to be adjusted slightly this way from 12 or slightly that way from 12 o'clock. So I'm just going to try this way. Just doing a slight adjustment. And that wasn't any better, so I'm going to go the other way slightly. And there it is. So you see it just took a slight adjustment. And there's one more I'm going to do that's actually a little bit harder to just show you again. And that's a pretty good weapon, but I have a lot of weapons already, so I'm not going to bother with that. We have one inside here. I think it's a little harder. It's the same difficulty, but the idea is the same. The deal is, with the increasing difficulty, the less, like for example, on very easy, you could adjust it like that much, and it would still work. Like you could be off by more and it would still turn. Does that make sense? And if it's on the hardest difficulty, or the more difficult it gets, the less you can be off from the precise point in which the lock picking is going to work for the lock to turn. I know that sounds a little jumbled, or perhaps confusing, or maybe not. I don't know. But again, I'm just going to try a point, just a random point. I like to use my system of 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So this time we'll just try straight over at 3 o'clock. No movement. So let's go to 12. No movement, and 9. 9 o'clock happened to be right on point. Now I could have been maybe at 9:30, 9:45, maybe even 10 o'clock. And this is obviously, I'm using a clock, a analog clock dial for this type of example, I suppose, for the analogy anyways. But I just got lucky there. I wish I had a whole bunch of boxes just of increasing difficulty to really show you guys, but I want to keep this video short, so I'm pretty much done. And sometimes there's not anything good in the crate, sometimes there is, and obviously the easier the crates, you usually don't have as good of items in there, and the harder crates tend to have better stuff in them. And you can use lock picking obviously on doors, like regular doors, and like if you see like an ambulance and you can get around the zombies, you can lock pick that. Every time I've lock picked one of those, it's had at least one med kit, sometimes two. Full on med kit, not the pieces, it's the actual med kit itself. You don't have to craft it. So we're at 6 minutes. I'm going to pick up the coffee because that's just something you can sell for money. I'm going to leave the pick because you see in my inventory I have a ton of weapons and it's completely full. So that's lockpicking 101 basically. I don't know really how better to explain it. The easier the difficulty, the more room for error, and the harder the difficulty, the less room for error. But you just basically pick points. You can use my method or your own, but that's just the way I do it, and I have fairly good success. So hope that helps you guys if you've had trouble with lockpicking with Dying Light. Anyways, take care.